Can a phone that costs less than $100 actually be good? And will having ads on your lock screen drive you crazy or be worth the cost of admission of the BLU R1 HD? So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the phone and see how it does. On the processor side of the house, we have a 1.3 GHz quad-core MediaTek processor. For storage and RAM, we have two flavors, with the 16 GB model having 2 gigs of RAM and the 8 GB model having 1 gig of RAM. The 16 GB model will cost you $10 more, and that is the version that I've opted to go for the purpose of this video. Storage can be expanded via micro SD card up to 64 GB, and the phone has dual SIM 4G LTE support with the following band shown on screen. The display on the device is a 5-inch 720p display, which equates to about 294 ppi, and the colors are pretty vibrant. It looks really nice. It's not going to compare to something like a Nexus 6P or a Galaxy S7, but for the price it is an absolutely excellent screen, and I would say it's very similar to the Nexus 5, not the 5X that came out this year or last year, but the one from the year before. But it looks pretty decent in the sun, and as you can see from the video that's playing right now, it looks really good, and I'm really impressed, especially for the price. My one issue is that they claim that it's Gorilla Glass 3. If you see in the top corner there, it's got some scratches on it, and I'll touch on that a little bit more later in the video. But other than the scratching, it is a really nice display, and it has a slight curve to it, which after using it a few days, it's almost unnoticeable. So overall, really nice screen, and I'm really happy with the screen. The one speaker on the back is okay. It's not going to blow any minds. It's serviceable in a pinch in case you need a speaker. But the fact that it's on the back makes it really easy to cover up when you're, say, playing a game or holding it to watch a movie. And if you really have to use it, it's not bad. I'll go ahead and let you listen to some audio from it right here. So as you can hear, it sounds pretty decent, but if you really want to get some good sound quality, then I would say just go with a pair of headphones. But in a pinch, it's not bad. But just keep in mind that it is on the back and there's only one speaker, and it's very easy to cover up and muffle. The phone comes with an 8 megapixel camera with an f2.0 aperture and a single LED flash. With the right amount of lighting and a subject that is pretty still, you can actually get some pretty nice shots out of this camera that are perfectly sufficient for posting to Instagram, Facebook, and social media in general. At full crop, the photos start to become a little blurry and some of the details get lost, so don't expect to be making massive prints from these photos. But like I said, for Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that, this is a perfectly sufficient camera given the right amount of lighting and a decently calm subject. In this close-up of this flower, again, we see it's a decent photo, wouldn't look bad on Facebook or Instagram, but once we zoom in, we could see that details become washed out, colors become kind of smudgy. So again, as with the last photo, don't expect to blow these pictures up and make huge prints out of them. As with most phones in the budget segment, the low light performance of the camera is where it really falters. Don't expect to get any great shots in anything less than perfect lighting conditions. As you can see in this photo, we have a lot of noise, a lot of reduction in detail. Colors look kind of smudgy again, and it just doesn't look great. And at full zoom, it looks even worse. But again, $50, $60 phone, so I won't be too upset about that, and not expect anything too crazy out of this phone for the price. The phone can record video in up to 1080p, and there is no OIS, so you're definitely going to want to keep a steady hand. And of course, as with the photos, you're going to need some really good lighting. But as you can see in this photo of my awesome dogs, Chewy and Han, if there is good lighting and your subjects aren't moving too crazy, you're not having to move the camera too much, then you can get some pretty nice video out of this. And I was pretty happy with this video, and so this is the kind of quality you can expect out of this. And again, for $50-$60, I was very impressed with this video and the quality of it. The one area that I was really impressed with the phone was with how it handled gaming. You could see in some of these clips here of Asphalt 8 and Riptide GP, some of the more graphically intense games, I would say, for Android. This phone was able to handle them and play them pretty smoothly. I was really impressed with it. I was able to play, I want to say, like 5 or 6 races and Asphalt before I noticed the phone getting warm, getting hot, and so that's pretty impressive. I was very impressed with that. As far as just handling day-to-day stuff, switching between tasks, I did get the 2 gig RAM version, so that helped with the multitasking, as well as how quickly applications would load back up once they had been left and then reopened. So I would say definitely spend the $10 extra and get the 2 gig version. I can't speak to how the 1 gig version works, but the 2 gig works pretty well. And for an extra $10, to me, that's a no-brainer. So as far as gaming and just normal daily use in general, pretty happy with the phone. The version of Android that it ships with is Marshmallow, and the launcher that Amazon uses is pretty close to stock. The only thing that they really add or change is there's no Google Now to the left home screen like there would be on the Google Now launcher, which of course it's Android, so you can install that if you want. And then, as you saw in my unboxing video, you can disable almost all of the Amazon apps as well. The one exception being the ads that come out on the lock screen. In my experience, they weren't too intrusive. They weren't too much of a pain. But in the last couple of days or so, XDA forums have discovered a way to root and unlock this phone, so I will be proceeding with doing that then in the next couple of days in another video. So if that's something that interests you as well, definitely make sure you stay tuned for that. But even then, if you don't want to go through that, the Amazon ads on the lock screen are really not that bad. You swipe away and you don't see them again until you lock your phone again. One of the last knocks or complaints I would say I have against the phone is the front screen, which is supposed to be Gorilla Glass 3. It scratches really easily. If you can kind of see in the corners here as I adjust the camera, the scratches that you see are literally just from taking it in and out of my pocket and setting it down every now and then on my desk, face down. And the reason I put it face down is because the camera bump on the back makes it wobble when it's on the back side. So that's my one complaint, is it scratches really easily. And I haven't dropped it, I haven't kicked it across concrete or anything, but this is just from putting it in and out of my pocket and setting it down on my desk. So what I would say and highly recommend is pick up a case from BLU that BLU sells on Amazon, and it actually comes with a screen protector in the package as well. So I will be doing a separate video review on that case and that screen protector as well, but it's only like $6 or $7. I would say just get it while you're buying the phone as well. It's, you know, only a few bucks more, and it'll definitely protect your screen and your phone. So I would definitely say get that when you pick up this phone. Lastly, I want to talk about the actual phone portion of this device. I used mostly a T-Mobile SIM in it. I tried doing the dual SIM thing for a couple of days and had issues with sending texts every now and then, making and receiving calls. So I'm not sure if that's an Android thing or a BLU R1 HD thing. I've never used this dual SIM phone before, so I'm not sure how buggy that is or isn't on Android. But once I just used the one card in SIM slot 1, had no issues, and the phone worked like a champ. Made calls that sounded pretty decent, and sending and receiving texts had no issues there as well. This is a GSM only phone, so you're not going to be able to use this with Sprint or Verizon, but T-Mobile, AT&T, any MVNOs that go through those networks are going to work for you. One more thing worth mentioning, I don't remember where I read this, but I read that SIM slot 1 is the only SIM that supports the 4G bands. So if you're only going to use one SIM card, or you're going to use a SIM card for data, make sure that SIM card is in the SIM slot 1, and then your voice SIM card is in SIM slot 2, or you just use SIM slot 1. Overall, I was very impressed with this device. It's the right size, it's the right price. The features that it has are awesome. You know, mediocre camera and speaker aside, I had an enjoyable experience with this phone. I was able to do pretty much everything I needed to. The battery life was okay. Charging it, there's no quick charging, so if you've gotten used to quick charging, that's gonna kind of suck. But if you don't have quick charging now, it's just like regular old phone with a 2400 milliamp hour battery. You'll be able to get through pretty much a day with some light use, and with DOS and Android 6.0, it'll go into super low power mode when it's not being used. So I was able to get, with really minimal use, I was able to get a full day and then part of another day of battery life out of it. But just overall, the price, $50-$60 if you're a Prime member. The lock screen ads are not intrusive in any way. You don't have to interact with them. As soon as you unlock the phone, they're gone. You don't see them again. If you saw my unboxing, you saw most of the Amazon stuff that's pre-installed can be disabled. And so that's pretty nice if you don't want to deal with the ads and you don't want to bother rooting it. I would say even at the $99 full price, it is definitely worth it. If you're on the fence, I hope this video helps you in making a decision one way or another. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this and on the R1 HD or other Android devices in general, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for me, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and Instagram. As always, I'll put a link to this in the description down below if you do decide you want to pick one up. And if you do, let me know what you think about it in the comment section. I'd love to hear what other people experience with this device. And so if you pick it up, let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, take care and make sure to stay tuned for more tech related reviews, news, and things you can use. Take care.